Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 3 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Onslow County, particularly White Oak High School, where 2 students and an instructor were carjacked. WITN began reaching out to authorities, including the school system, early this morning about the carjacking that happened yesterday afternoon. The sheriff's office ended up sending out a news release at around 2:15 p.m. Now, the sheriff's office says it happened around 4:30 p.m. on Tuesday on the high school's campus. 2 students and an instructor were in the vehicle, a driver's education car, when the armed carjacking took place. Deputies say no one was injured, and the car thief immediately left campus in the vehicle. The stolen driver's ed vehicle was spotted, and the driver led deputies on a chase, reaching 115 miles per hour. It ended when the driver lost control and crashed into a home on Riggs Road. Deputies say the driver, Dominic Evans of Hubert, ended up at New Hanover Regional Medical Center. The 33-year-old man is also a suspect in an earlier vehicle theft on Doris Avenue in Jacksonville, according to deputies. Now, charges are pending in both cases and could be filed once Evans is released from the hospital. And now we want to turn our attention to the bridge hearing from Maryland after, again, the container ship crashed into it and brought the bridge down. NBC's Aaron Gilchrist has more from Maryland.
It was a disaster the NTSB says shouldn't have happened.
The whole bridge just fell down.
Federal investigators now revealing a loose wire was the root cause of the deadly 2024 collision of the cargo ship Dolly into the Key Bridge in Baltimore.
This tragedy should have never occurred. Lives should have never been lost. As with all accidents that we investigate, this was preventable.
The National Transportation Safety Board's investigation showing one of thousands of signal wires inside a breaker wasn't firmly in place, likely since the Dolly was built. When the wire slipped out, it knocked out power, including propulsion and steering. The ship's operator tells NBC News in part, these matters will be reviewed in detail with our technical teams, the vessel owner, and counsel.
Hold on traffic on the Key Bridge. There's a ship approaching that just lost their steering.
The ship slammed into the bridge where 7 men were working. 6 of them died after falling into the river. The investigation revealing they were never alerted to the emergency on the water, and if the workers had been notified, they would have had over a minute to evacuate before the bridge collapsed. The lone survivor and the families of the men who died have filed a civil suit against the Dolly, some of them at Tuesday's meeting with their lawyers.
It's been painful for the entire country to see this happen and no one held accountable. So hopefully accountability is finalized. That family is just here for justice.
The NTSB also making 18 safety recommendations to prevent another deadly catastrophe, including using motorist warning systems and creating protocols to alert bridge workers in an emergency.
In order to see safety change, we need our recommendations implemented. We have a really big voice, and we're not afraid to use it.
And again, that was Aaron Gilchrist reporting. We now turn to your weather forecast. It's looking a little sunny out there for some. Others are still kind of stuck in the clouds. Let's take a look at some of the camera shots we've got around eastern North Carolina. This one, probably one of my favorites. This is a view you can clearly see Washington right now covered up in clouds, but just over Chocowinity. Looks like those clouds come to an end. So, and then of course we've got what looks to be a spider slowly working its way up over the top of the camera. Of course. Let's take a look at what we've got in Morehead City right now. Again, clearer skies, a little bit more sunshine down along the Crystal Coast. Actually looks almost like a postcard right now. Beautiful conditions, but again, we did have some raindrops earlier today. A lot of those drops are working their way off the coast. It's not going to, again, be a wet evening, even though cloud cover is largely going to be sticking around over the next few hours. Now, we've watched a lot of the rain pull away from the Outer Banks. From here on out, it's just kind of watching the cloud cover try to depart as well. 72 degrees in Grifton comes with a northerly breeze at 10 miles an hour. Air temperatures depending on where you're at, you're either in the mid 70s or you're in the mid 60s or you're somewhere in between. Now, those of you in Manio, I very much appreciate your plight. 58 degrees right now along the northern Outer Banks, significantly cooler than these surrounding areas. A lot of that has to do with the winds shifting out of the north, bringing in that cooler air off the water. So as we head through the next 24 hours, cloud cover is going to again be more prevalent tomorrow. We'll see some sun breaks tomorrow afternoon, but not nearly as much sunshine as kind of what we've grown used to over the past several days. And then we've got our eyes trained further back towards the west on our next rain system. It will start to drop a few showers coming in early Friday morning. There's a picture by the time it gets around 9 a.m. and you're seeing again those drops over kind of central to eastern North Carolina, closer to the Virginia line. It's the cold front, though, not the warm front in red, the cold front in blue that will provide us with most of the rain out of that system. And that will be moving over eastern North Carolina again Saturday morning into Saturday afternoon. Here's a look at your full 8-day forecast. And again, rain chances have increased quite a bit for Saturday due to increasing confidence in the forecast. Model trends again continue to show this system making a full pass over eastern North Carolina, but also just as importantly, we're seeing an increase in humidity. Check out those overnight lows Friday night into Saturday morning, 61 degrees. The higher your overnight lows are, the more moisture there is in the atmosphere, and that will lead to heavier rain showers as those fronts move in. So we're looking at more widespread rain on Saturday and heavier rain on Saturday. I know nobody wants rain on a Saturday, but we need the showers. At least we're getting them at some point. And our Sunday, the following day, is looking sunny and dry. Well, that's all we have time for today's 3 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday.